What's up everyone, Tweech here, and welcome to the 100% walkthrough of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. In this guide, I will show you where to pick up every item in the game. I'll give you the best way to spend your skill points and obtain every prayer bead and gourd seed, and of course provide you with the best strategies to defeat every mini-boss and main story boss. For the purpose of the video, I'll not be skipping the video cutscenes. I'm going to go through all the dialogue in its entirety, and I'll be using the English dub voiceover just so I don't have to spend time reading all the subtitles. Plus, the English voice acting is pretty top-notch. Also, if you only need help with certain parts of the game or things in the game, take a look at the timestamps in the description so you can just jump right to those parts. Alright, with all that said, let's get to it.
In the closing years of the Sengoku era, Japan was consumed by perpetual conflict. The fires of war raged on. Spreading deep into the mountains, to the land of Ashina.
Is the war finally over?
Master swordsman Ashina staged a bloody coup and wrested control of the land.
What's the matter, Stray? Nothing left to lose? Well, would you look at that? Fascinating. Will you join me, starving wolf?
On that day, a young cub was taken from the battlefield. He trained relentlessly, and indeed, went on to become a master shinobi.
Listen, Wolf. You must never forget the Shinobi Code. As your father, my word is absolute. Your master's is a close second. As of today, he is your master. Defend him with your life. If he is taken, bring him back at any cost. You understand me, don't you, Wolf?
Some 20 years after Ishin's coup, the Ashina clan was on the brink of collapse. And the shinobi, known as Wolf, had lost everything. Both the man who took him in and the boy he had sworn to protect.
Shinobi, open your eyes. For the sake of your master.
All right, so getting started, you saw a little charm pop up. It said Koru's charm. I'll show you really quick. When you beat the game, Koru's charm is given to you. So all this means is that when you play any kind of new game plus, +1, +2, and so on, you have the charm. And if you keep the charm, the game kind of progresses. Each new game cycle gets a little bit harder, but if you keep the charm, it'll just progress normally. Now, if you get rid of the charm and give it back to Koru, it does make the game a little bit tougher where you have to have these perfect deflections. Otherwise, if you just block, you'll take chip damage, which is a little bit of health damage. So you have to be really good at deflections. All right, so in the beginning, you'll get this letter telling you to go to Koru, and we're going to go up that way. So right now, if this isn't New Game Plus and this is your first time playing the game, you won't get that charm. But it's not something that you really have to worry about. All right, we'll go through the tutorial area now. You could read through all these little menus that pop up. It'll help with understanding the gameplay.
Restrain him, nothing. That doesn't worry anybody?
Not at all. Not only is he unarmed, he has completely lost his will to live. Nothing but a coward. Unworthy of our concern.
All right, we're going to sneak through under here, and then you're going to get these different things throughout your playthrough called eavesdrop. I suggest eavesdropping as much as possible to gain some more information.
The Divine Heir is probably using the light for his reading again. Probably, but imprisoning a mere child. I feel sorry for the boy. Agreed. But I'm sure Lord Genichiro has his reasons.
All right, so they're talking about our Lord, the boy up here in the tower. And we're going to continue on here. And again, suggesting to eavesdrop, if you kind of get lost or don't know what to do, sometimes you'll have these idiots talk about, what's going on or where to go. So like this one here.
You check that it's locked, right? It's certainly locked, but nobody fixed that hole in the wall. That? Don't worry about it. The whole face is the edge of a cliff. No one could pass through it.
So right there, if you don't know where to go, he just told you. Then we're going to make our way around to the tower. When we get a little bit further on, I'll go through the menus and what everything means in the main menu. But for now, just follow this along the path. Get up here. And we'll talk to Koru.
You did well to come here. It's been too long, Wolf.
I've come to free you, my lord.
Well then. Raise your head. Kusabimaru, your sword. My Shinobi. In accordance with the bond of Lord and Retainer, you will pledge your life in my service.
As you command.
Kusabimaru. Alright, we got our weapon. And now we're going to talk to Karu again.
Loyal Wolf, I see you are wounded. I have something that may help. It is a special gourd of medicinal waters. Use it to heal your wounds.
Okay, we got our healing gourd. This is similar to the Estus flask of the Souls games.
Were you gravely injured? Afterward?
After what?
Do you not remember that night?
I do not.
No. We'll talk about it later. Right now, we must escape Ashina Castle.
As you say.
There's a secret passage beneath the moat bridge that will take us out of the castle. Lord Ishin told me about it once. I ask you to find that secret passage. Once you find it, signal me with a reed whistle. You know, like you used to long ago. I will join you as soon as I hear it. Wolf, do you have something for me?
Now, again, if you have the charm, you're going to get this extra dialogue, but like I stated before, we're going to keep the charm, so it's a playthrough very similar to like a new game.
No.
I see. I leave this in your hands then, Wolf.
Alright, let's equip this. So we're going to go to our menu, go to our quick items, and I always put the healing items in the first spot here, at least the first two. And I'll go over everything in a little bit of what's on the menus and different things like that. So here's our pellets. These are regenerative healing items, so they slowly regen your health. So those go on the second spot. Now, you'll notice really quick that on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, our health is almost nothing. We're like one hit. We're going to go out here and just let this guy kill us. So don't use your... Well, I'll use it to show you, because we do get it back. So if you press up to use your healing gourd, it only gives you about half health, right? Talks about posture and death blow. I'll talk about that in just a moment. I'm going to let this guy kill me. Come on. Come on. I'm right here. There we go. Alright. Ah, the twins. The twins got me. Alright, so as you can see, I have full health now, and I get my healing gourd back. Your healing gourds do replenish when you rest. However, your pellets do not. Right now, I could only carry 3 at a time, and then the rest will go in storage, but right now I only have 1 use of my healing gourd. So, now that we're at full health, let's go ahead. We're going to backstab this guy. This is why stealth is so important in this game. You could pretty much one-tap most enemies, or at least do a death blow and kill most of the regular enemies. And then just a note of deflection. So deflecting is the most important thing in the game. You know, most Souls games you want to roll around. You get iframes for rolling so you don't get hit. You get, you just want to dodge most of the time. Here, you don't want to do any of that. So forget what you know of Souls games, and even Elden Ring, if you played that. You just want to be right in front of these guys and attack them or deflect. So I'll show you really quick. So right now, on the top of this guy, you'll see the red bar. That's his health bar. So I just blocked, and now you see a posture bar pop up for me, right? Same thing's going to happen to him. If I deflect, his posture gauge goes all the way up, and that red dot is ready for a death blow. Because no matter what the health of enemies are, if you break their posture in this game... Oh, jeez. It processes to a death. Or at least give you a chance for a death blow. So... yeah, let me just hit you once. I want to show you. I'll see if I could take some health off. Whatever. See, my health bar is down because he hit me, but then my posture bar starts building for every block and not a deflect. Well, we're just going to come up here and kind of show you how easy this could be if you deflect the right way and time it. Those guys are dead. We'll move up here. So this guy. Now, you could attack, keep on attacking, but there's going to be a point where they're going to be able to attack, block you, deflect you, and attack back with... doesn't matter if you're swinging or not. So you want to really pay attention. Guys, so dramatic. You really want to pay attention to what's going on in the battle. Alright, now this is our mini-boss. There is a thing called a counter slash. It does do a little bit extra damage to their posture, so after you deflect, if you hit your attack button, you kind of do this like spin move a little bit. Not all the time, but let's see if I could get this guy to attack me. There we go. We broke his posture, and as you can see, posture broken, all of his health went, but he does have a second health bar or death blow bar. There's that spin move, does more damage to his posture after a deflect. And if you just deflect this guy, his posture will break very quickly, and you're done. Now, one thing of note, sometimes you'll do this, right? Just keep on tapping the deflect bar, deflection. You could do that, but it kind of like, it doesn't work well all the time. Especially with bosses, you want to be able to time their deflect and then strike back very quickly. Plus you do more posture damage with a perfect deflect than you do just tapping this button and happen to get a deflection. Alright, let's continue on under the bridge. These guys are gonna talk about the secret passage.
Under the bridge, we just got orders to guard it. Security's getting tight. War will be upon us very soon.
Alright, so he talked about the secret passage. That's exactly where we're trying to get to. We'll kill this little troll guy. Just swing away. We'll meet those guys later on. Pellets. Don't worry about your health. And then there's nothing else over here, so don't even worry about going down there. And here's that secret passage. We're going to use the reed whistle. Now remember that sound, because we're going to hear that throughout some parts of the game, the reed whistle.
Wolf, you found it. Now let us leave this place.
Yes, my lord.
To think that this is the only way, to run from the fated bloodline, is the only answer.
Now let's talk to him one more time.
Where should we go once we're away from the castle? I suppose the first thing we should do is cross the Ashina border. Or perhaps we should hide somewhere. What do you think?
Whatever you desire.
Whatever I desire? That's the wolf I know.
My lord.
Oh, nothing. I was just reminiscing. Onward, then.
Okay, so that little bit of dialogue, even though it seems, minute, I think it explains a little bit more about, you know, Sekiro's bond with his with the Lord Kuru here. So he asked specifically, "Hey, Sekiro, what's your opinion?" And he's like, "Whatever you want, man. I'm here for you." So I think that's pretty cool and gives us like a little bit more of a purpose of what the game's going to be about. And in this area, this is my favorite area in the game for fighting. I don't know. I just think it looks beautiful with the grass like that and the moon. But we'll come back here a little bit later on.
The divine heir. Last we stood together was your uncle's funeral.
Lord Genichiro. Thank you.
Leave this to me.
Now, just like true FromSoft fashion, the first boss is meant to kick your ass. He'll probably beat me, but I'll do my best to try to beat him, to show you, you know, what happens if you beat him. But it ends up being the same thing anyway. All you get is a little extra dialogue for beating him. Nothing too crazy. You don't get like extra skill points or items or anything like that. And a lot of this guy's actually pretty easy once you get his fighting style down, once you get to understand his patterns. And there's things in the game, in your skill points, that will make this fight so easy. And right now we just don't have those latent skills and different skills like that that'll really make him a joke. So all we can do is strike and deflect. So there's his first one. Oh, gotta get away from these rocks. See, like what I was talking about, the deflection, this game is more like a dance of fighting than it is just like block and attack. Like it is in other Souls games, or roll around until you don't get hit. There we go. Got him. So you'll get this like first couple seconds. Calls you a bastard. But then if you didn't beat him, I think you get it from right here. That's the start of your cutscene. So you only get a couple seconds, and he calls you a bastard. That's your reward for beating him.
A shinobi'd know the difference between honor and victory. The divine heir is coming with me.
What is this?
So you're awake. Looks like death is not your fate. Just yet.
And this Shinobi prosthetic. So, main part of the game, and your main defensive and offensive weaponry. So let's talk to the Sculptor here.
What do you call yourself? Your eyes. The eyes of a wolf who has failed in his duties. Or so it seems to me.
That is not your concern.
Spoken like a true shinobi. I must carve the Buddha. You do what you will.
Why am I here?
We'll go through his dialogue quickly.
Was drag you here. Didn't even know if I was dragging a corpse. Couldn't let you get eaten by a pack of wild dogs.
How long was I asleep?
Some time has passed since I found you.
I see.
However, your master yet lives. He's being held prisoner in Ashina Castle. They will soon make use of his bloodline. Looking at you, I'm sure you appreciate the value it has.
All right, then we're going to talk about my left arm.
What did you do to me?
That is what I call the Shinobi prosthetic. A fitting fang for a one-armed wolf. Useless when it comes to carving Buddha, though. You can have it.
Shinobi prosthetic.
It is no mere replacement for your lost arm. Come to me if you find any Shinobi tools.
Shinobi tools. I see. For this device.
You catch on quick. If you bring me Shinobi tools, I'll find a way to fit them to the Shinobi prosthetic. Then you'll come to appreciate its worth. I've said too much. Go now.
And then, yeah, he mentioned about the Divine Heir's blood.
What did you mean when you said they'll
let's
make
figure
use
that
of his
out.
bloodline?
I don't know much about him, except the dragon's heritage. There's a special kind of blood by that name, and that blood runs through your master's veins.
So the Divine Heir.
Someone's after him. Might be that the strange things happening to your body have something to do with that.
All right, so he's talking about the Divine Heir's blood, so we know something's going on there. He's been taken,
You're quite the strange.
so we got to go get him back.
Other peculiar visitors have come to this temple. There's one in the clearing to the right of the gate leading off the temple grounds. Two strangers in strange circumstances. You two might get along.
So now he's talking about somebody out here to the right, so we'll go see him in just a moment, but before we do, let's check out this statue.
You see the kind-faced Buddha there? That isn't one of mine. It was carved by the true sculptor. When a man must confront what is inside of him, it can probably be of help.
Confront what is inside him.
Anger, sadness, or perhaps old memories of times long gone. That kind of thing.
So he just kind of told us a little bit more of a backstory than we realized. So he talked about a true sculptor. He talked about that this shows you, maybe a past memory. Things like that we're going to find out here in just a little bit. But so if there's a true sculptor, that means that he is, then what is he? So he's a sculptor now, so maybe this whole thing has happened again. So a little bit of foreshadowing of what's going on. So we're going to come out here and go to the right and, the remnants. So I have the remnants off. I'm playing offline. And as you can see, there's if you play online, these remnants will pop up. And they're very similar to a combination of the comments and notes that people would leave you in the world of like this in the Souls games, and then their bloodstains, so you could get like a little glimpse of what they're doing. I just, quite honestly, I think it just clutters the world of Sekiro up, and it doesn't really add too much value. It could help. Some people in the community are helpful, and they'll kind of show you where to go, what to do, but quite honestly, I think it just makes it look disgusting, the world. So here we go. Up to the right, he talked about some guy up here.
Never seen you before. Your name? Won't tell me. But you do have the look of a skilled shinobi. A shinobi. Or perhaps... Sir, please heed my humble request. Face me in battle.
So, we're gonna fight this guy quick. Yeah, it just takes like a hit or two or a deflection or two. But
damn,
he'll come back.
Still alive.
Well, we'll talk to him.
That swordsmanship. It was a thing to behold. Few have managed to kill me in such a thorough manner.
What are you?
Some call it undying. Others, infested. I can't die, so I just am. How about you? What brings you to a rundown temple like this? Seems you have a lot on your mind. Say, why don't you use me for some sword practice? Might come in handy for whatever your mission is. A warm body that can't die might prove useful to you. I volunteer mine. Well?
Yeah, definitely accept this guy. You could use him at any point if you're struggling with the game. He'll go through all of the different, training methods of striking, deflecting. When you learn certain skills, like the Mikiri counter, which I'll talk about a little bit later on in the walkthrough, you could practice all those skills that you learn with him. I'm not going to go through that, for the purpose of this video, just to, cut a little bit down on the content, but you can certainly take your time and practice with Hanbi. He can't die. Now at least not yet. He foreshadow. So the other thing here is the offering box. If we look at the offering box here, there's nothing really in it, but all that means is that if an NPC dies out in the world, I believe, in any shape or form. So if we kill one of the NPCs, their contents of what they sell are in here. Now there's also penalties for dying, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But if you die, and or if you keep on dying, NPCs will be inflicted with what's called dragon rot. So that'll be explained in a little while throughout the story of what that is and how to get rid of it. But if one of those NPCs dies, then their materials, everything that they sell, is going to be in the offering box. So let's come over here to the Sculptor's Idol. So right now there isn't a lot that we could do here other than just rest. So we're going to rest first, and then I'll describe a little bit about what you see in the menu. All right, on the right-hand side at the top, you'll see that little red bar. That's your health, of course, and then your unseen aid on the right-hand side, 30%. That's the highest your unseen aid could be. And all that means is that when you die, just like in other Souls games, you drop certain things. So like in Souls games, you drop your souls, and then if you get back to the place that you died, you can pick up your souls before dying again, and you're fine. Here, you can't do that. Once you die, legitimate death, not a resurrected death, but if you die, you lose half of your skill points, or at least your points towards your next skill point, and then half of your money, your sen. That's just gone for good. There's no way to recover it. However, unseen aid gives you a 30% chance to not lose anything. And that continuously goes down with, I believe it's tied to more dragon rot, so the more people that are inflicted with dragon rot, the lower percentage that goes. But if you cure dragon rot, that goes back up to 30%. So 1 out of 3 deaths basically means that you have a chance not to lose all your stuff. And then going down, you have your vitality and attack power, and then on your left, you have your prayer bead and memory. So your vitality can only be increased by the amount of prayer beads you get. For every 4 prayer beads, you can gain 1 vitality. So your vitality will increase, which is also your health points and the amount of damage you take. Now, the prayer beads are found throughout the world. There are a few in hidden locations where you could get them in like treasure chests, but most of them, the majority of them, are going to be dropped by mini-bosses. So it's very important that we fight every mini-boss to get max vitality before the end of the game. The other thing is the attack power can only be raised when you kill a main story boss. So you'll get these memories after you defeat them. You'll get these memories that drop, and you could go to an idol and increase your attack power by spending that memory. And then at the bottom there, finally, you'll see on the left, bottom left, is the spirit emblems. Now, you can only carry 15 of these. In the parentheses, that's what you would have in storage, so right now we don't have any. But they're used when you, so you could use certain prosthetic tools and different things like that. They cost spirit emblems, and then on the right-hand bottom is your sen, or your money, basically. So now that that's all explained, and we rested, you'll notice that somebody else came to the temple. So let's go talk to this lady.
You truly returned from the dead. The power of the dragon's blood. I never thought I'd see it with my own eyes.
Who are you?
My name is Emma. I am a doctor serving a certain master.
What master?
Forgive me, but for his safety, I cannot reveal his identity. However, my master gave explicit orders to assist you in any way I can. I'm not telling you to trust me. However, I must fulfill my master's orders. The gourd of medicinal water you possess, that was originally a creation of mine. I am a doctor, and I will assist you in that capacity.
Alright, so Emma here, the physician, she deals with your healing gourd for the main part, and she is huge in this story, so we're going to talk to her several times. But when you get a gourd seed, and we'll get, I think 9 or 10 of them out in the world, we got to come back to her, present the gourd seed, and she'll increase the amount of uses our healing gourd has.
This gourd.
Yes. It was intended for Lord Kuro, but it seems he entrusted it to you. I'm sure you may have noticed, but the medicinal waters in this gourd spring forth on their own. Even after being emptied, you will find it full again after a short rest.
Yes. Is there a way to improve it?
Bring me gourd seeds.
Gourd seeds?
Yes. Medicinal waters flow from gourd seeds. Adding new seeds will increase the volume of these medicinal waters. If you find any, bring them to me.
All right.
I'd like to make a request.
What is it?
Please show me your face.
What?
This white mark, is it a birthmark?
No.
Then that must mean it appears on those who have received the dragon's heritage. Or perhaps it's a symptom.
Are you done?
Yes, that will be all. I'm sorry. That was rather rude of me.
Alright, so we're going to come back up here.
You again. I must carve the Buddha. You do what? Yes, right. That cut don't do anything.
Okay. Alright, now we're ready to get into the world and into the combat and continue on with our story. Alright, now here we go. We're going to go past that idol, make our way into Ashina. So there are a couple of these tutorial type screens that come up. You can read through those. I'll explain a lot more than I can about what's kind of going on here. Spider-Man up here. And we head to the outskirts. Now, I'm not sure if it looks a little different than the previous portion of this video. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I had some technical difficulty with the PC. I was using Steam to record this walkthrough. However, there would be a lot of like weird frame rates at different points, like frame drops, and it just got real weird. So I switched over to the PlayStation 5, playing that. So, yeah, come up here, grab this. Now, to explain this really quick, if you're new, the Sculptor's idols here, we could use those to travel to previously rested Sculptor's idols throughout the entirety of this game. So this one really doesn't play much of a use other than just that, to show you that you could travel, fast travel between them. We'll come down here. Now remember, this is a Shinobi game. It's not really meant for running in like a crazy samurai, and then we're gonna do a lot of stealth throughout this playthrough. So this tells you how to attack from above. I'm gonna kill this guy, and then looting. So if you're new to this game and you're coming from like Elden Ring or even Souls, you don't need to go up to an enemy to pick up their items, and I'll show you here. So there's nothing that I could do. I'm standing right above them. You could see these floating little coins. I can't pick them up just like that. There's no, you know, prompt to do so. But if I hold my square button in, you kind of like suck them up. It's not really, I don't really know the lore behind it, why you could do that, if there is even lore, if it was explained, but that's the way you get your loot. And you could do that from a pretty good distance. Distance away from where you just killed something. So we're going to come up here. And we're going to do one of those plunging attacks on this guy. And we're going to fight this guy separately. Got his stuff. Come up here. Now there should be a dude. Yep, there he is. We're going to sneak up on him. And if you timed it right, he should be walking away. And you could backstab. That guy should also be walking away. Typically, I like to jump from up top, but since he's already where we kind of want him, we'll sneak up on him. And right down here is a first little secret drop area. Drop down here, and we'll pick up the Akko Sugar. Now the Akko Sugar will increase your attack power for a time. The other one that we picked up just on the other side here was a blue sugar that increases your defense or damage negation for a short time. And then you'll find that there are a couple other different sugars, different candies that'll do different things. Some for farming, some for direct application. Now, one of the things that I like to do is, you see a dog over there, we're going to let him go for now. I suggest not jumping on this guy and doing a air like death blow, because you end up rolling forward a bit, and yeah, you kill this guy, but then there's a dude down here that gets alerted, and then this guy gets alerted, and now you have a little bit of an issue. And sometimes this dog back here will get alerted and come in, and it becomes a little bit of a pain. So drop down behind him, and as you can see, nothing was alerted, but I'm also off to the side in this white, the snow area. If I drop down in the center, sometimes that dog becomes alerted and will come up and cause problems for me. So notice I'm not picking up any of the items just yet. We're going to wait just for a moment. Kill this guy. And we should be able to get all of that stuff. See how far away I was, and I was able to get there item drops, so you could, it's not like infinite, but you could go a little bit further away. We'll get this. There should be ash, or one of them should be ash. Yep, there we go. And pellets. Now, these guys are pretty simple. They should only be one hit. Will alert the others. You could parry these guys, which I find very funny. Parry them in the face, and then death blow. Nothing over there, and shouldn't be anything over there. Good. Now, there is an idol up here, but we are not going to rest at it just yet. We'll come back to that in just a second. We're going to come up here. Oop. There we go. And go right in here and grab this item. This is the first of our prosthetic tools. After we get a few of them, we're going to go back to the sculptor here in a second. After you get a few of them, it unlocks a prosthetic tree, skill tree. And then right over here is a boss or a mini boss. We're going to be fighting him in just a second, but we want to go back and get this shuriken wheel equipped, and we can only do that at the dilapidated temple. So now, right now, nothing reset, but the moment I hit rest, everything in the world resets. It also gives me back all my heals, but again, you gotta have to fight everything once more if you wanted to clear the area. We're gonna go back to the temple. Now you see, yeah, Emma's still hanging out. We didn't get anything for her just yet.
I found one.
A shinobi?
Yes.
I said before, but if that's all that... The more
I'm going to go through his dialogue quickly and present the prosthetic tool. So on the right there, you could kind of read what it's about. So you pull a shuriken out, load it into the wheel, and launch it at a target in a single flowing motion. If you want to see how to do that, just hit triangle. It'll show you hit R2, shuriken throw, attack by throwing a shuriken. Sometimes there's additional effects, and we'll see those as we upgrade our tools, but they'll be shown here in that extra menu on the right there. And sometimes if you hold R2, they'll have a different effect and so on. So we'll be able to see those as we go.
If you want more form, you'll need to note the least.
And now we got to equip it. So in order to do that, as you can see, prosthetic tools, we could equip up to 3 at a time, and you get a lot more than 3. But for now, we can only equip 1. This and this get locked or unlocked a little bit later. Actually, pretty soon we'll be able to unlock this before we go to the next portion. And as far as quick items, early on, I like to keep my heals up front. So my main heal, that's my main heal gourd, or Estus if you're coming from the Souls games. And then this is our pellets, which is like a health regeneration. I keep those first. Occasionally, I'll put different items here depending on the situation. And then again, early on, I like to put the homeward idol. And this is kind of like your homeward bone from Souls, where you don't lose anything and you just go right back to actually 2 areas. You could pick either the last place that you rested, or you could come back here. Okay, some more talking. There's going to be a lot of explanation early on, just so I could cover all the bases. Like I said, this is a 100% walkthrough, so I want to make sure we got everything. Now, you just saw that I got this little plus sign that floated towards me, right? It's kind of hard to see, but on your bottom right-hand side, it says 2/15. So 2/15 means I have 2 of these spirit emblems. Spirit emblems are needed to use your prosthetic tools. So on the right-hand side for the loaded shuriken, you can see it shows spirit emblem cost 1. So 1 emblem per use. So I could hold up to 15. That's what that /15 means. Currently, I can only hold up to 15. So if I had all 15, that means I could use the Shuriken 15 times before I'm pretty much done. I can't use it. There's a couple different ways to get those. Let's talk to her really quick. I just want to make sure I
What is it?
exhausted all of her dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're good there. But not to get ahead of myself there, but the reason being is that when you talk to NPCs in this game, you got to forward their dialogue to move on to the next portion of their quests, or sometimes just to move the main story forward. So very important that you do that. And as far as the spirit emblems, you could purchase them here. Early on, it's not a bad idea. You could do that, but by just going through the world, killing different things, beasts primarily, you'll be able to gain spirit emblems. But for now, I'm not going to buy any. Save your money, because there's a very important prosthetic tool coming up that we need to buy, and we need quite a bit of sen. Now we're going to come back over here. Don't worry if that guy or that dog kind of gets alerted. We're going to come up on this side, double jump over, and grab this item. Now there is going to be a little bit of backtracking, because there is another hidden area down here for an item. But we're going to go fight this guy first. I think it's important that we do that. And then we'll come back here, get that secret, and kind of go around where we need to be. So, to touch on these mini bosses, this game is quite unique where it allows you to get around mini bosses up to an area where might be a fog gate. Some mini bosses have a fog gate where it won't let you pass until you beat them. But this guy, you could literally continue on. However, I want to suggest not doing that. You could always, if you're having trouble with them, you could always come back another time, but do not pass up on these guys. Reason being is they drop prayer beads, and sometimes they'll drop other items like a gourd seed for your healing gourd. But the prayer beads are very important because, as I described earlier, let's see. Yep, on the bottom there where it says vitality, it says I have 10. When I get 4 prayer beads, I could increase my vitality, which is my hit points, and even the amount of damage that's taken will be reduced. So by skipping these guys, you think, all right, well, hey, I'm struggling with this guy. I'll make it easy and go around. You're actually making the game harder. So make sure that you do everything you can to fight these guys. I'm going to throw this on for the second half of the fight, but I'm going to let him kill me first. Reason being is because the main mechanic of the game is shadows die twice. When you die for the first time, you'll get that power, so it'll resurrect you, and, well, you'll see in just a moment. But for this guy, we're going to go ahead and take one death blow off him. Alright, so like I said, I'm gonna let him kill me here. Just so I could get that. Maybe I'll take some health off him to make it a little bit easier when I resurrect. Safety roll. Make sure you go through those tutorials. Very important. And then I'll kind of go through his attacks. Alright, there we go. I'll try to demonstrate his attacks as much as possible so you can get as much information about this fight as you can. So here we go. Here's the...
Wolf, take my blood and live again.
Ooh, who is that voice? What does this mean? Well, now you could resurrect. Okay, now that we resurrected. Main thing with this guy is watch his attacks. Okay, you could hit him a couple times, but he's going to be able to swing through your attack and hit you. And you certainly won't have enough. I'm going to let him do this. He won't have enough health to sustain that. What he did was he got his posture back. I'm going to run over here. So anytime he does that, you can see his posture gauge go down. You want to keep on attacking, so you need to be aggressive with this guy. See right there? If I didn't block, I got hit. I need to stop attacking. I want him to do his sweep attack. So hopefully he will. I'm fine if he does that. I want his sweep attack so you can see. Perilous attack comes through. You need to jump on his head. There you go. And that's it for him. So he has a perilous attack that's a sweep. You got to jump over it. You can't. You could dodge it by rolling backwards or stepping back, but you can't block it. You need to jump is probably the best way. And there's our first prayer bead and our first gourd seed. So we're going to go back to Emma and get that. We got 134 experience. So that's why it's important to complete these guys, beat these guys best you can. Don't skip them. Let's go back to Emma. Back to the dilapidated temple. Alright, there we go. Hello, Miss Emma.
Yes, I died.
So you talk about your death, resurrection.
And let me. I don't. I'm.
We're going to give the gourd seed.
Yes, plant this. Now.
Such a.
Is it? If it that, please. I should. Goodbye.
And again, I suggest going through all the dialogue in its entirety. I'm skipping it just because of the walkthrough. I want to just get to what we need to do. So I'm going to rest. Now, if you look, I have 2 gourd seeds and 1 prayer bead, and I have 15 spirit emblems. So he gave me a bunch of spirit emblems, 15 for 15, and then now you see that little parentheses of 2. That means I have 2 in storage. So when I rest, I could get up to 2 back. So if I use 5 spirit emblems, so now I have 10 out of 15 that I used. When I rest, I'll get those 2, so now I have 12 out of 15. If that makes sense, hopefully that does. And I have a prayer bead, which until I get 4, I can't increase that. Awesome. So now let's go back to where we were by the dogs. Righty, we're going to come up here. And notice I didn't use any of my Shuriken for him. There really isn't a need. But you could certainly give that a shot. Let's finish this area first before we get that secret. So this area is packed with guys. Now this is kind of like your first, this is still kind of like a tutorial. So your first area of being as strategic as possible. Here we get a good view. There's a dude up here in a tent with a bunch of crows. He's a merchant. And we're going to get to him in a moment. But we're going to figure out the best way to tackle this area. What I like to do, again, there is going to be a little bit of backtracking. Come up here first. Because we see 2 guys over here. And, oh, I forgot about the, might be able to take him out in there, but I might get away with it. Let's give it a shot. First, we're going to jump down here and get an eavesdrop.
This battle, do you think it can be won? I fear we may not prevail.
Look, Ishin may be sick, but he's... And of course, we have Gyobu.
Ah, Gyobu, of course. Good point. No man could ever breach the Ashina.
Okay, got that. Now that I think about it, I want to get this guy up there, because if I go to kill these guys, he's gonna start firing and it alerts like everybody to the area. So let's go back around. Alright, these guys are gonna come up, so we're gonna wait. There should be 3 or 4 of them. Sometimes they break apart. This guy looks like he's alone, so we're gonna go down here. Okay, and to the back side here. Don't forget to hug the wall, and you could look. Now, there's one guy standing here, but 3 more are going to come up in just a second here. I think so. Let's see. Yep, there they are. The guys with that like kind of covering over them, they're a little bit harder than the others. They just are a little bit more aggressive and they take more damage. So we're gonna wait a second till they're a little bit out of the way and get this guy. Okay. Now that he's gone, these guys will separate or go up there. Now we want to come up and get this guy. Now you'll notice once I get him, one of the other guys is going to start to like look at me, but if I stay back, he stops and I crouch. Okay, we'll get this item. Now this other guy should have been walking. Where is he? There he is. Here we go. We'll grab this guy. We're going to come right back up here. Let's go in here this time. And I'm going to wait. Wait here. These guys are going to they're going to see that body and be like, oh, hey, something's going on. See? They see the body. They're going to get alerted. They're going to look for a second. But that's all they do. They look and then go. They don't really spend much time investigating something going on. So we'll get this guy. We'll let that guy go because he's a little too close for comfort. And then we're going to come up here because we want to get those 2 guys. So now we're going to go around. Back where we were. Let's see. So out of these 2 guys, we're going to get this guy with the hat on first. Then we'll get this guy. We're going to have to fight this guy. Just for a second. Drop down here because there's a hidden fat boy. These guys are rough. You don't want to deal with these guys. Backstab him. And then we have this guy again. We're going to come up, get him, and we're going to have to fight this guy. Not a big deal. Got it. Now the area is secured. We got a little bit of... I think there's another item. Let me see. Might be wrong about that. We're just going to check this really quick. Nothing here. No item there. Got all the items there. Alright. Let's move on. We're going to come up this way first. And down here and talk to this dude. Now there is a guy over here. He walks away. But don't go that way just yet. You'll see a gunner up there. He'll shoot you. He'll hit you pretty good. Talk to this guy first.
Who is it? Is some...
Yes.
No, sir. My name is Inosuke.
So, Inosuke.
A vassal of the Hirata family.
So we're going to meet him again a little bit later on. He's not an extremely important NPC, but just so you're aware, we will see him again.
But her mind is failing. She cannot tell one from another.
And now we're going to talk to his mother, who's ringing this little bell.
Is that you, Inosuke?
I'm not your son.
There you go again, Inosuke. You always tease that I'm getting senile, but a mother knows her own son. Well, anyway, take this bell. It's a charm I made with the young master in mind. Please, offer it to Buddha for his sake.
Very important item. So the bell charm, we're going to go back to the dilapidated temple pretty soon and offer that bell to the other Buddha statue. So just down here are these two cocks. We're going to kill this guy, and then these roosters, I tell you, as much as you think they're nothing, they could kill you quickly. It's funny to me how many times I've died to that shit. We'll get these coin purses. And then we'll talk to him again. I don't think we need to, but...
Sir, I wanted to thank you for that bell's troubled her. She kept muttering.
Okay. We are good here. We're going to let that guy go. So this little section... Oh, I forgot the up top here. Coin purse. Yep, we needed that. So this area should be cleared. Now, actually, I never tried jumping from here. Let's see. I know of a better area, but we're gonna... Oh, yeah. Haha, nice. I never tried jumping that way. Usually I go from back here, which we'll do in just a second. But...
Care to purchase an offering?
Oop.
An offering?
Indeed. I sell items to be offered to the dead from them. Go ahead.
So these merchants are all over the place, but and they sell a couple different things. Honestly, I wouldn't buy any pellets unless you're really in need of them. You'll see if you follow this walkthrough, you'll have a lot of them towards your playthrough. We don't need anything for poison just yet. We get a bunch of these throughout the game, and coin purses. Now this is where I'm going to talk about this very quick. So right now you can see I have 209 sen. That's our currency for the game. When I die, half of that is lost. Okay, and if you buy these coin purses at 110 a pop, they save you, kind of like you're banking them, right? You're banking the money. It saves you 100, so you lose 10 sen per thing. Which isn't that bad if you think about it. If you're dying a lot, it's always a good idea to get these purses so you could save your money. But more importantly, this guy sells the firecrackers, so we are going to sell him. We have 200. What did we need? 500, was it? We'll sell him 3 of those to get our firecrackers. Okay, that's why we saved our sen.
Thing around here, cruelty.
Now, if you died a lot and you don't have the sen to do that, you could farm these guys up. There is a wonderful farming method. I put together a farming video for experience points and sen, and there is one just in this area where we just started, so you could do that one. Look up that video when you get a chance. But now we're going to go get that secret item. So let's go back here. Like I said, there is going to be a lot of backtracking in this game. This game is kind of meant for you to explore the area over and over again. And you'll take a little bit of... Oh, jeez. Almost died. Make sure you have at least half health. That would have been good. and get our Jizu statue. Now, the Jizo statue is very good for boss fights. If you're very close to winning and you're out of resurrections, maybe you have like one heal left or a couple heals and you feel it, like you know you're going to win, you could pop a Jizu statue and get resurrective power back, so you could resurrect again should you die. So it's almost like another life on top of the 2 that you already have, which is kind of cool, but they are limited. So make sure you use them wisely. We'll come down here. Goshen Sugar. Now, Goshen Sugar is one of my favorite in the game. We're going to be using these a lot, so try to save them as much as possible and only use them when I instruct you to for this walkthrough. This suppresses sound and sight, so almost to invisibility, but unfortunately it's not a full invisibility, but it's pretty darn close. Okay, we're going to come up here. Sneak across. And there's that guy I was talking about before, but we're going to come up over here. Remember this area for much later in the game. You'll see why. That big roaring fire. Grab these and come up, and we're going to backstab this clown. Now, he gives us the black powder. This is used to upgrade our prosthetic tools a little bit later on, once we get that ability. So we have 1 and 2 guys there. Yep, we will come up, get this. Now we're going to hightail it for this guy, backstab him. Now we're going to have to do a little bit of fighting. Now remember what I said when you're sword fighting. Once you hear that clang from your attacks, there, make sure you're ready to deflect. Deflect or block. Do not, and I repeat, do not keep swinging, because that's a point where they deflected you and they want to hit you. Down here. This is where we want to go. Now, I know we just got the Firecrackers. We're going to get to the next idol, which is just up here, and then we'll go get the Firecrackers. Get a Mibu balloon. So that one, I believe, is for obtaining items. So it's pretty much when you're about to do some farming and you need some upgrade mats or just different, items. You could pop this. It lasts for a little while. I'm not sure exactly how long, but it does last some for a good bit. And you could do a cycle of farming. And same thing here if you need Sen. Here's your gold. You could hit that balloon, and each enemy will drop more items. And then we have the infamous snake, Snakeskin. We'll see that in a little bit. Some upgrade material, scrap iron, and that should have been it. Yeah. Okay, and then we're gonna hop on over here. And now we get to do a little bit of Spider-Man stuff. Up top. And here's our idol. Okay. Now, you can see that I have one skill point ready. I'm going to rest here, get my stuff back. I can't do anything there. And spirit emblems. Now you can see I have 20 in storage, so no need at all to buy any. And before we tackle this next area, we're going to deviate from the main path here. And this is the best part for our deviation because we've already, we have a charm, a bell charm that we got from the old lady that we need to see what's going on there. We have firecrackers to go back. There's quite a bit, and we're going to add to that in just a second. And we have these remnants. Now, these are short remnants that give us some storyline information.
This man was from Hirata. I must pay my respects.
Lord Kuro,
Lady Emma, are there other Hirata survivors?
there are very few of us left.
I see. Apologies. There's no end to those who seek the dragon's heritage. This was their fate. Because of those that pursued me. I didn't mean to involve them.
So there's some great information here, and this is kind of like the first tidbit where you get more of a glimpse of what the heck is going on. So Lord Kuro and Emma obviously know each other. So he was talking to her about the Hirata Estates and if there were survivors. So something happened on Hirata Estates, and this is probably the third or fourth time we've heard about the Hirata Estates, and something tragic happened there. And he said it's because of him, because of the dragon's heritage. Now, the dragon's heritage is something we got to figure out, but most likely it's something extremely valuable, and that the people are after it. They want it. They want it from him. So we'll figure that out in just a moment. And let's go talk to this dude.
You're that good Sir Shinobi, sir. Huh? Well, I haven't seen you since, well...
What night? No.
Oh, I see. Listen, sir, you and I, we've met before. I was a thief, but those days are behind. Only problem is being broke. So, good sir, would you? I'll stock something useful just, and as a little bonus, what do you think?
Okay. If you have to send, give him the coin.
Now talk.
Very important.
Yes, of course, that night. So my gang broke into the Hirata estate. Now, as you're aware, the Hirata family is part of the Ashina. Now, normally they'd mop the floor, but it just so happens we broke in during a battle. Yeah. Almost all the young samurai were away from home, and it was a prime opportunity. Then, there's when I met you. You were looking for something. Well, that's all I know about that night.
I see.
Yeah. That look you're making now. You had that same look on your face that night. You still... Listen, for a price, of course,
All right. Let's give him some more send.
I'll buy some information.
Thank you very much. I'll give you some information.
If you could.
Shinobi tools.
Tube, huh? That's the sound the fire makes when it...
So he's talking about the flame barrel. So we're looking for a fire barrel at the Hirata Estates. The boys lit a roaring bonfire with it and made merry with drinks. So a bunch of drunk dudes around a fire. Huge fire in Hirata Estates. So again, we hear about Hirata, so guess what? The game is telling us, let's go to Hirata Estates. We met this guy before. He broke in with his clan, so a lot of good stuff, a lot of cool stuff that's tells us about the story. So now, let's go on back here. Go back home, or I'm going to call it home a lot. It's the La Potato Temple. All right, so with this, let's go get our firecrackers. He's going to probably talk about the bell, I think, first.
What is it?
Seems to me your battles, you're more like a shinobi. Take this.
Oh no, Shinobi. Yep, here's the esoteric text.
What is shinobi recorded within? Whether you make use.
That's from us getting our first skill point. So you can read that if you'd like, which you should, at least if it's your first time. Now he's talking about the bell.
That,
No.
it appears. I think.
What?
Give it. The kind it was caught.
All right, let's fit this prosthetic tool. Firecracker. Got it.
No matter what, thus you'll understand.
Don't need anything there. Let's try to...
Anyway, so.
Nothing else. Okay. Maybe we need... I thought 2 tools would have been enough, but we might need a 3rd to unlock that. Okay. So he just talked about the skill points, so we're going to look at that quick. And acquire skill. So with this walkthrough, I'm going to try to give you the best way to spend your skill points, at least the way that I've found that gets me through the entire game in a relative manner. I should speak of ease, where you'll have certain skills for certain points of the game that will make those boss fights a little bit easier because you have these skills. You could go in any direction whatsoever, whatever fits best to your play style. But this is just the way that I play, and I found, you know, certain parts of the story, without these skills and even latent skills, it does make it much harder. Not completely impossible, but it does make the game a little bit harder. So to start off things, we are absolutely going to get Whirlwind Slash. Okay, this opens this up. Now, we are going to save up 2 more points for Makiri Counter, and you'll see by the time we get to the point where we absolutely need this, we'll have just enough skill points to do that. So, because we got our combat art, we're going to come over here, and we have to equip it. Now, this is the Whirlwind Slash that we just got from our skill point. This does a pretty cool whirlwind, jumping in the air, spinning attack, and you hold L1 and then hit R1 to do the attack. So, it helps if I equip it. There we go. Now, to show you, here's L1, right? I'm blocking. Here's R1 at the same time while holding L1. Okay. Now, this one specifically does not use spirit emblems. Some of these skills will, so just be wary of that. Okay. Now, we're good. All right, let's go to Hirata Estates.
Close your eyes. Hear the bell speak to you. The bell's chime will stir your thoughts and awaken old memories from their slumber.
Okay, once we get through that portion, come back here, grab a pellet, and then we'll grab the idol. Now, you could warp back from the present or to, the present to Hirata Estates at any point. And here we are, Hirata Estates. Now, this area, it looks huge, but it really isn't. There's a portion here that works its way up to the estate. There's a tower over there, looks like a 3-story pagoda. And then, of course, the estate's all on fire from what we were already told by that merchant that they broke in and set ablaze. And then, lastly, he talked about that, the flame vent, right? The flame barrel. Well, there's a big roaring fire with guys sitting around it. I wonder if I have Did I get that? Or no. Nope, not yet. Okay. There's a telescope that you get a little bit later, but any event, that's where we want to head. That's our first goal, is going over to this little fire, not the one up top, but just the one that's above my head here, into that area. Yeah, before we jump in and start tackling Harada Estates, that's going to be the end of the first episode of the walkthrough. I hope you guys really are enjoying it and it's helping you out, but we're going to tackle Harada Estates up to a certain point in just the next episode and get back to the main area of the game. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.